Hello, everybody. I'm Jackie K. Cooper, and it is my delight to once again get a chance to speak with Lisa Gardner, and author of the new book, Still See You Everywhere. What a great title, and what a good, I've already read the book. I loved it. Uh,
Thank you so much, Jackie. I'm so excited. It's been what, 2 years since we got to talk?
I thought it had only been a year, and then I was reading in the book that you took a year off,
Yeah.
and I thought it must have been 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Time flies.
Time flies. Time flies. And already, as we tape this, number 13 on the New York Times bestseller list.
Thank you.
Look at you. I'm telling you, it is the third Frankie Elkins book. And I felt like in this book, I got to know Frankie better than I ever have.
Oh, good. I think one of the challenges when you're writing a series is that, that you show some evolution with the character. And one of the things I actually really like about Frankie is she's real. She's very flawed. So she's kind of comforting to get to know because you feel better about yourself.
I don't know. I felt like something, she is a complex character,
Yeah.
but the heart shone through more this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here you have a woman who, all on her own is working missing persons cold cases, no purpose. And from
Just
the
on her
very,
own.
yeah, just to do it. But she's compulsive, like she's doing it. And from the very beginning, with the very first book before she disappeared, I was very cognizant of why. Why would anyone do this to their life? Have no home, no real job, no stable relationship, and just go from place to missing the rest of the world has forgotten. And I think I'm learning as we are that with before she disappeared, you see Frankie's to do good, that there's all these people in the world that aren't seen while they're alive, and no one even notices when they're gone. And she just wants to try to make a difference in one person's life.
Well, and she has a horrific background.
Yeah.
She was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
The true love of her life,
Yeah.
died. She has no family to connect with, per se. She has no sustainable income.
Yeah.
She just lives off. But in some way, and I mean this as a compliment, not imitative at all, she reminds me of a female Reacher.
People have said that, and I definitely get it. I mean, Lee Child once, famously had Reacher say, back in the cavemen days, there were people who sat by the fire, and there were those that got up to wander. And he was one of the wanderers. Well, I mean, for the record, there are a lot of women who wandered as well. And
But we
Frankie,
don't expect that.
we don't expect that. And I think there's some biases there. When a man goes from town to town, he's a loner. When a woman doesn't have any social circle, she clearly can't keep a man. And so Frankie's aware of the judgment. But I mean, this is one of the things you like about her. She is who she is. This is what keeps her sober and makes her life work.
But her soberness is constantly a struggle. That's what it's not like, oh yeah, I'm sober X amount of days or X amount of years and that's it. She constantly struggles, which
Yeah, I
adds
wanted
to her humanness.
yeah, and Spence use addiction almost like a trope. And certainly early on in my career, I had the heart of who, drank too much or was an alcoholic or is an alcoholic. With Frankie, because it's such a huge part of who she is, take the time to get it right. I actually really enjoyed reading the about the 12 steps and the big book and advice in there for living in general and interviewing and talking to friends. And I mean, every addict has a different story. Frankie, she is forever a work in progress.
I also read in the background that you love research.
Yes.
And I felt like you built an atoll, or that's how it's pronounced. And I never knew that these places just created themselves, and they're just little islands that form, and some of them are inhabited.
It was such an amazing experience. So, yes, I took 1 year off to do a sabbatical and ran away to see the world because I like to travel. And if I didn't go to really remote, hard to access place, and that brought me to the Palmyra Atoll, which is on the, you basically, a 3 hour charter flight to get to Palmyra, like 2 weeks by boat, remote. And there's no fresh water. So it's a sister. There's no electricity. It's a 12-person.
Lisa, your microphone is cutting out.
Um, let's
Yeah, I
see.
hear you fine now, but it's like it just,
Okay. All right. I'll just lean a little closer then.
all
So,
right.
opportunity to go to Palmyra and to be in a place so remote, like no cell signals, no Wi-Fi. You're 2 weeks by boat from reaching mainland. I mean, and all the crabs and the
The
I mean,
crabs drove
it was
me.
amazing.
I mean, I could not imagine, and you write it so descriptively about they scuttle under your feet, and then there are certain ones who can lock you with their claws, and then there are these big ones that you meet, and hopefully they turn around and scuttle off into the underbrush. But I mean, that's one of my worst nightmares, seeing those things. And then you had to add a spider on top of it too.
I know Wolfie, the wolf spider, who was in my
Yes.
room. And every night when I turned on the light, I had to identify where he was first because he's huge, like this big. And we had long conversations that he was not allowed to drop into my clothes, which were on the I would just have to burn the entire cabin down. I
Uh,
mean, there'd be no other choice.
How how did you decide to put it up? Was it after your sabbatical that you decide to go to an atoll in Hawaii, or did you have that in mind way back?
Well, I went to the atoll just really for personal knowledge. The research station there through the Nature Conservancy is doing ecological reclamation of coral reefs and having really great results. So it's kind of more educational to go learn. And then I will, I'm a suspense novelist. I can't help myself. I'm in this remote island. It's really even worked by 12 strangers. They're all contract employees coming and going. You're like, there's no chance of escape, no hope of rescue. I mean, it is the ultimate closed room mystery. You've got to use that for evil, Jackie. It's too good not to.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I've been reading you a long time, and this is your twistiest novel yet. I thought I interviewed her. I thought she seemed like a nice person.
Yeah,
And
clearly vacation did me
she
good,
is
right?
she is going off on some tangents. I mean, without giving anything away, the book starts with Frankie being hired by a convicted serial killer who's on death row.
Yes.
Now there's a start.
Yeah. I thought that
Why
was
not?
fun. Yeah. Well, okay, so here's one of these interesting things. I got into writing thrillers because I'm very interested in the psychology of why a criminal is evil born or made. And in the beginning, when I was doing the FBI profiler books like 20 years ago, they would talk about we see a lot of male serial killers and very few female. And it's because men generally externalize their rage. They will project it onto like a surrogate or a proxy. Women internalize, so they're much more likely to become alcohol, self abusers, things like that, self destructive. However, Jackie, welcome to modernity. We're getting the women's movement. And as women become more comfortable with rage, we're seeing an uptick in violent crimes by women.
And she is completely unapologetic.
Yes,
She
I
talks
love
about
that.
how great it makes her feel.
Yes, the Beautiful Butcher, I think, is actually one of my new favorite characters.
Who is this woman?
I mean, that was just plain fun. You gotta admit, writing her, that was just plain fun, and thought it was important that she be committed to her crimes, like, really, seriously, if she breaks out of prison, she's gonna do it again. If they don't execute her, she's gonna do it again. She can't wait to get out there and do it again.
Again, she is committed. I mean, there's no, oh, well, this happened, this happened. No, she's just bad to the bone.
Yeah, you
Bad.
know, she's had such a hard life. It's like, you can be the predator or be the prey, and she's proud to be the predator now.
Yeah. Speaking about 20 years ago when you were doing the FBI profilers stuff, Dee Dee Warren, is that her name, your character?
Yes, yeah. Dee Dee Warren's the Boston cop. The Quincy and his daughter Kimberly Quincy are the profilers.
I, Dee Dee, though, I
Yeah,
loved it.
yeah,
Are
they
we ever going to see Dee Dee again?
I think we will. I've been missing her.
Have you?
I never
I've been missing her.
it was so fun to go on book tour, in every city I went to, all the people, there's like Team Dee Dee, Team Flora, Team, Kimberly Quincy, Team Frankie. But the truth of the matter is, you love all the characters, and I never intend to write a series, but I have to keep bringing them back because I want to see them again.
Yeah. And you have complete control. All we can do is live through you, Lisa. But somebody was asking me the other day, I was talking about writers and how such a good thing now novels are being adapted into TV series and
Yeah,
all this. And I said, Lisa Gardner is one of my favorite writers. And they said, oh, you want the Frankie Elkins series? And I said, no, I want the Dee Dee Warren series.
exactly. Everyone has their favorite.
Yeah. Not that I don't like Frankie, I do. It's just, the
Yeah,
person place in my heart. But I do love this trend, Lisa, that people have discovered, my gosh, books are already written, the plot's already there, the characters are already there. Why don't we make that into a movie? Why don't we make that into a TV series?
I'm assuming you're watching Karen Slaughter's Will Trent, my favorite show on TV right now.
You and Karen just shared a stop together in Atlanta.
Yes,
I would have, I if I could possibly have been there, can't imagine the two of y'all in a room together. Now, was
we
it the
had
only one
so
y'all
much
did?
fun. Yeah, we had so much fun. And I was saying I love her new show on TV, Will Trent.
Do too. Same here.
And Will Trent's one of my favorite characters. So I was threatening to steal him and put him in my books, and I would treat him way better. He'd never get
Ah, I
it.
see. Well, I just heard from Karen and I asked her if you're familiar with the book. I said, is Sarah ever going to be introduced? And she said, rest okay. Sarah will appear eventually. So,
I hear the same rumor. So exciting time for us readers.
yes. But I would love to, I would love to see either Dee Dee or Frankie or anybody else. Have you had any contact? Is there any possibilities?
Well, right up until recently appeared, but had kind of going out again for the first time. But Hilary Swank had wanted to play the role of Frankie, and
Yes, it
wouldn't
should
she
be
be
good.
yeah, but, I mean, she had twins, and a lot of things have happened in her world now, so it's the
Oh,
way it
I hope she, because yes, I can just see her as Frankie.
yeah. She would have been a great fit, absolutely.
Yeah, she's
So
got a
it will be fun.
grittiness. Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
great.
you need someone, not glamorous. I mean, Frankie's supposed to be every day, but also a little
Well, I think that's a perfect choice. Perfect.
yeah.
But everything, I know you just got off tour, which is a grind, even though everybody loves it, but it is a grind.
It's
Uh,
so nice seeing readers, but the travel component's hard.
and I was telling somebody the other day, I was talking not about you, but about, the book tours, et cetera. And they said, what's so difficult about those? You just go out, you're yourself and talk to people. But at least in my experience, even though you're being yourself, your own,
Yeah.
What I mean, you're trying to be what they want you to be, and attentive and alert and witty and all these things. It's a tough deal.
And how wise is it? I always question this, Jackie. Okay, so here, like people like me, like Karen, we literally hear voices in our heads talking about how to kill, how to get. So they turn us loose on the general public. Is that a good idea, Jackie?
Maybe I do love Zoom. A little bit distant here. Lisa, you're fantastic. You're a great writer. Tomorrow's Writers Wednesday showcase on my Instagram, where Spotlight is on. Still see you everywhere. So
Thank you so
I'll
much.
send you a link and let you see that. But thrilled with the book. Thrilled with the book. Thrilled with your success. Appreciate you.
It is so exciting to get to talk to you again, Jackie, and I'm so happy you like the book.
Well, I did. And same time next year, bring out another book and we will do this again.
Absolutely. Same time next year. We got this.
All right. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, Jackie.